Welcome to the Old Guys No Shit podcast in Dealercast Studios, where we bring together decades of automotive knowledge, all together in one place. Here's your host, Old Guys Who Know Shit.
Hey, what's going on, Dealercast Nation? This is Jason Harris.
This is Rob Mudd.
And Larry Bruce.
And thank you for joining us on another episode of the Dealercast podcast, where, well, it's just a bunch of old guys that know shit.
Yeah.
And we are those old guys.
And what we're about to talk about is the shit.
Yeah, right, there you go.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, man. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
I'm glad to be back in this amazing studio.
Yeah, nice day. Nice day today here.
Oh,
yes.
It is. No doubt, not a blizzard. That's good.
That's good.
It's true.
It's not 100 degrees and 100% humidity either.
No doubt.
It's always an adventure making our way out to Iowa. It's always fun. I look forward to it. It's always a good time. That's plus the thing. I just get to hang with you guys.
Have you seen the corn? The corn's high.
Oh,
It's about 7 feet tall, man.
I didn't. Yeah, the last few times I've been here, it hadn't been that, and now like I get here and it's like we're driving along. I'm like I don't see anything but corn.
Right.
You can. And it's all the same height. Have you noticed? It's
How do they do that?
genetics.
There is nothing abnormal in our corn.
No, it's corn.
Oh, guys. Hey, for everybody out there watching, listening, thank you for joining us today. We have some really cool topics we're going to get into. Actually, we're going to talk about one of the big boys, or a big boy in the business, and it's
Big boy in retail.
A big boy in retail, 100%. We're
Or a category killer.
Killer or a monster. Yeah. However, you know what? Look, we're going to talk about Amazon, and it's so funny when I think just over the last decade.
Yeah.
Of just how Amazon, just for my own personal life.
Yeah.
There's boxes in my front door every single day.
There's boxes in my garage that have been
Have they been opened,
right?
though? Right, that's the key.
They're not mine. I mean, I guess they are mine, but I didn't order them. They just show up.
Right.
Well,
it's like magic.
And the thing about it, it's the company that has the most amount of shopping data on almost every single American in the country.
Yeah.
All right, what we order, how often we order, what brands are we most connected to, and what are we purchasing, and life changes and so on. Did we move? Are we at a new place? Just they are sitting on so much data. So let's get into this. So I'm here, guys. Here's my first one. How is Amazon reshaping consumer expectations in the automotive sector?
I've had an opinion on Amazon for a long time, and these guys want to get in the car business. They want to distribute. They've got the audience. They made deals with Hyundai already. They're selling used cars. They're selling new cars. And the other thing they're doing is they're stealing dealers' data. And I can explain that and go into that. So
isn't that like every other?
Yeah, but see,
get in line.
The trainers, the
car
gurus.
If you want to buy Amazon, there's only a few resellers of Amazon. They've got their special guys that can sell their Amazon stuff.
Oh, you mean from a marketing perspective?
Yeah. Okay. Sell the airtime on their platform. Well, so they'll have conduct sales, right? On CTV and such, and then they'll want to do the match back. In order to do the match back, you have to have their pixel on your website. Well, Amazon's got about 180 million subscribers with a credit card and a home address.
Yep.
That's damn near 50% of the population, right? So you got an 80% chance of anyone who buys a car is going to be an Amazon customer. Yeah. Now, did they see an Amazon ad that drove you to the dealership? Probably, I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But Amazon is trying to take attribution credits for all that stuff, right? Well, they own the audience. And this gets back to Larry, people over platforms, right? And so the other thing that happens with dealers is they forget that they have the pixel on their website. And so
Just
they're
leave it. Yeah.
de-anonymizing
You know how
the
many
traffic.
of those are out there? Just so
Right.
many.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God.
So these guys are if you don't take it off, or you shouldn't ever put it on, because they're taking or they're reading your traffic, and they can de-anonymize your traffic, whether they give it to you or
Well,
not.
they're going to
doing
now. You can account on
100%. And so, they're just taking advantage of the car dealer again. And I don't know where NADA comes involved. Why don't they?
Well, I don't.
NADA, there's a lot of money from Amazon and NADA, for lack of a better term. I mean, while they take care of the dealers, they need money to operate.
Yeah.
And
don't they get enough from Cox?
Yeah, well, it's arguable whether you can start getting into some really deep stuff there.
That's what got me ousted.
Here's the reality: they aren't. They're not going to change it. They're not going to change it any more than it already is today. I mean, everybody keeps thinking Amazon's going to come in here. They're going to own the car dealership. They're going to own the relationship.
But they do differently than others.
That
is the data, is the behavioral data.
Yeah, but they'll use the behavioral data for other things. I mean, the car business. Yeah, the car business. They're going to end up another DSP. They're not, at the end of the day, it still takes the car dealer to, 1, have the inventory locally, 2, paper the car, 3, deliver the car, 4, service the car. Amazon's not going to do all that. And there's not enough. It's just not. And their normal process is to come in and take 60-70% of your profit. And they're not. No car dealer is going to sign up for that.
But the OEMs will. Hyundai
did. The OEMs in that part of it.
What I don't understand is franchise laws when those come into play.
Yeah, Hyundai doing this is nothing more than a bump in the stock price.
Okay, so let's go into a little bit about that, because I do think that there's a play here for Amazon. All right, guys. Look, at one point in time, eBay Motors, was huge, and I'm not saying it's still not today, but I mean it was gigantic.
Well, Carvana is the same thing. I mean,
so it's
Carvana owns the entire relationship, though.
What eBay Motors was unable to do, as far as just kind of keeping their market share, because they did at one point, they had a huge market share.
They're the one doing it.
I was personally selling 30 plus units a month on eBay Motors, right? So I mean,
Texas Direct Auto made its business.
100%. There's some huge players out there, and if you're out there watching, listening right now, you know exactly who you are. Can Amazon? And I'm just saying from a consumer's perspective, can Amazon be the next eBay Motors? No.
eBay Motors came along at a time when the internet was, just trying to figure itself out. And they had a platform and they had the audience, and the dealers weren't fighting hard for that audience at that time. So they were the audience, right? When Texas Direct Auto Texas Direct Auto didn't have a website. They had an eBay store.
eBay store, yeah.
And the Texas Direct Auto didn't have a location. They had a junkyard. They had a junkyard. No, it was a freaking junkyard.
Was it?
It was a junkyard in Missouri City, Texas, with an 8-foot wall around it. If you weren't paying attention to the address you were going to, you'd drive right by it.
Yeah.
I mean, the eBay Motors had at a time. Everybody thought they could go buy a vehicle cheaper through eBay Motors and come and pick it up. And at that time they had, Rick, one of the guys that founders of Texas Direct Auto, was very smart about cornering certain makes and models. At one time I can remember a story of a friend of mine telling me that a Range Rover actually contacted Texas Direct Auto and told them to stop buying used Rovers because they were basically killing the market for the retailers. And he's like, no. Right?
I was in Chicago from 2000 to 2018, and there was a client of ours there called Luxury Motors, and this guy, Joe Abbas was his name, Lebanese fellow, great sales guy. Well, he only dealt in high-end vehicles, right? Mm-hmm. He had Mercedes-Benz but backed up in his lot, and they looked like Chevrolet Cavaliers. I mean, that's how many he had.
Right.
And it was just, they blew out about 300 to 400 units a month out of this location. And then where were they located? Downers Grove. But he had a warehouse out by O'Hare. and he was shipping these cars
Everywhere.
all over the world. High-end stuff.
So distribution.
Yeah.
I mean, if we think about it, I mean, that's Amazon's biggest strength is their distribution.
No, actually, everybody thinks that's what it is, and it's not.
Well, I mean, that's
Amazon did not become Amazon until they could deliver it that day or the next day to your home. But that's logistics. They have the best logistics. They have trucks, and they can ship boxes. They don't have car carriers.
So what happens if they start buying car carriers?
If they start buying car carriers, then if you're a dealer, say, great, start buying the cars. You start floor planning them. You start managing the inventory. You start managing the term. I'm not going to sit here and be your floor plan, brother.
No, I get that. They won't. But so Hyundai is doing it. The OEM. The OEMs. They've made a little deal where they have to do certain things to sell a car to a customer on Amazon. It's Costco. Yeah,
it's
right.
the Costco model.
Yeah.
It's the Costco model. It's not. Amazon's not delivering Hyundais to Amazon. Hyundai's not delivering Hyundais to Amazon.
No,
it's Amazon's floor planning them, and then Amazon's selling it and dropping it off to the customer, and then they're going to paper the car. No, I mean, they're not doing that. They're going to, and even if they did it at scale, they'd run into the same problem Carvana had. It's the U.S. government registration of vehicles is not up to date to the scale you need it to be to do what you've got to do. You got to get local. And Amazon got local. They fixed their problem, but they did it with people locally.
Yep.
And Amazon's not going to do that. There's not enough money in the car business for Amazon to want to do that. They're not going to take on that liability and that risk for that amount of money.
I don't disagree. So I know I want to get into some other topics because I know Amazon's great. But I do. I mean, I still think we're going to find out. We're going to see what Amazon ultimately does. Now, what is Amazon doing for dealers? Right now, before we're talking a little bit about,
they're doing the same thing to dealers that Carvana did.
Well, Amazon is, like to you guys' point, largest marketplaces in the world.
They're category killers.
They are major marketing data players. Are there ways? And I think for a lot of dealers out there, they don't know that they can partner with Amazon. So let's go.
Amazon could become a public organization too, just like the big guys, and go out and buy stores.
They could.
There's a bunch of and look, I mean, Beos does show that he's got some interest. He bought into that Slate product that we were looking at this morning. So like they're showing that there's some interest, and
a niche product like that would work.
Sure, I can see that being on Amazon. I'll just order my Slate truck, put it in my cart, and it'll get delivered.
Right. I mean, it's a toy car. It's a toy thing. Right.
Yeah.
Good for the beach.
They could try to make that work. Yeah. I mean, but at the end, you still got to contend with the Ford Auto Collection.
But this is different, though. That Slate deal is a modular car, right? And so it's a unibody. And if they can bring those module seats, whatever, inside, take it out, put it in, that's a different model, man. That can be serviced by.
And I love how people say that. I love how you guys talk about that. That's great. Have you ever owned one of like the 80s models Corvettes?
No.
Because it had the greatest, coolest, neatest little glass target top. Yeah. And when you got it, you were like, oh man, I could take this top out. It's so cool. Right. It's so neat.
Nobody did it.
It never fucking happened.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because it was such a pain in the ass. And then when I take it off, where do I put it?
Yeah.
Dispose of it. We'll take it away from you. We'll take it away.
Look at the Jeep Wrangler.
Well, I see people with the doors off and the tops off all the time.
Right. And if you go ask them, how many times have you done that? They're going to tell you, 2. I mean, it's really cool.
It's kind of like getting a hot tub.
Right.
It sounds like a great idea.
Like getting a boat. It's like getting a boat, man. It's like getting a boat. Oh, I'm going to do this every day. No, you're not. You're not going to do it, man. It's the average person. I mean, the reality is that, I mean, they would...
I buy into that. I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah.
We sometimes confuse niches for masses.
Right.
Oh, no. What I think is interesting is I think that for this next generation of vehicle owners, there is something that's very appealing about the price point, about the size of it, the simplicity of it, the connectivity of it, the modular.
The Kia Soul. Remember when that came out? The Kia Soul.
Oh, that little box.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be for young kids, and really the demo was wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was an older demo, right?
Yeah,
because you move stuff around. That kind of had that same feel, right?
You know what's gonna do that more than anything.
Or the Scions. Remember the Scions?
Yeah.
What's gonna do that more than anything? If you've seen these videos where you can take your phone and change the color of your car.
No, augmented reality.
Oh yeah, you check. They can literally, you could literally take your phone and change your car's color, the paint color.
See, that's the kind of stuff I see.
Now when I can grab my phone and just into my mood, now you got something.
Black.
You want me to go get an Allen wrench and start taking shit off my car? No. Your kids won't even go outside and play. You think they're going to start turning wrenches on cars?
No.
Come on, man. It's sad because I worked on my car. I had a '66 Mustang. That was my first car, and there with an inline six, and there was I could sit inside that engine compartment.
Well, it's interesting you say that because actually, if you read about the Slate and their modular system, they actually say that it only requires 4 tools to literally do everything on this entire thing.
And that's 4 tools
from an Allen wrench. It's pretty much like an IKEA.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever bought like an IKEA?
I have.
Everything together?
I did.
It's going to be a bunch of Allen wrenches.
It was a pain in the ass. I would never do that again. It was so challenging. I'm like, what the?
Think about this. You think your kid takes the top off the Kia, the little what you call it, the slate. Yeah, and then he forgets about it and drives off.
Well, you won't get far because you can only go.
Yeah, that's right. It's only going 150 miles. I love the thing.
It could. I mean that one when you showed it to me and when we looked at it this morning, I kind of saw how that can make sense.
As a parent that's having a kid
for $200 a month,
first car, I'm like, I love everything about this.
Right.
I think it's just,
I
think it's cool.
Yeah, but for me, you
don't even have a car anymore.
No. When Maddie went off to Texas Tech, my offer to her is like, you want a car, or do you want a Uber budget?
Yeah.
She said Uber budget.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. So at the end of the day, I mean, the reality is.
Well, it's funny you say that because I find Uber's, and I'm curious because you Uber everywhere.
Yeah.
I find Uber's getting expensive.
Uber. Here's the funny thing.
You got it here for $50.
When I landed into Cedar Rapids, right? Yeah. I pulled up Lyft because I was kind of pissed at Uber, right?
Yeah.
So I pulled up Lyft, and Lyft was $98 to get here. I'm like, that's a little steep.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just see what Uber want. $56.
Wow.
Subvented pricing.
The system knew you open up before
exactly.
Right. I haven't opened that thing up for a year, and
he's back.
He's back. Let's give him something to remember us.
What kind of ride what do you drive?
Because I paid $80 for mine. So.
Yeah, but even $80 from here to there, and all I've got, I can either sleep, I can do my work. I don't have to drive. And if I don't have to drive, I can do other things. And that's what works for me. But the only thing that scares me about my daughter taking Uber is I don't know the guy driving
the car. That's right.
That freaks me out. I mean, and Texas Tech is not far from the border.
Yeah.
And, this is my 22-year-old daughter.
Yep.
We got some problems here, right? It's a little edgy, You put in the notes, they could dude, I will find you and kill you. And slowly, by the way. But
reminds me was that Liam Neeson in that one movie?
Yeah. I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know where you are.
But I have a very specific set of skills that I've acquired over many years.
And I will use them on you.
And I will find you and kill you. But when all of a sudden you take the person out of that car, and there's no longer a person driving, now a $80 Uber turns into a $25 Uber, and then game over.
Oh no, I agree, and I think that's coming. that is a whole nother podcast in itself.
That's probably a whole segment, right?
So let's get into this, guys. I want to get into because look, there is a lot of power behind Amazon. We've talked about a couple data points we've already talked about here so far, and that's the 180 million shoppers, all their shopping data and their profiles and their behavioral information. It's all sitting there.
And,
so
and they got a home address and a credit card,
right.
so it's accurate.
It's as accurate and updated as possible, right? I'm not giving Amazon my 5th email address that I never check.
Yeah.
They definitely have my most recent address, no matter what.
Yep.
They can get a message to you.
100%. Okay, so let's get into that. How can dealers partner with Amazon right now? And what does that look like from a marketing perspective?
So CTV is good. Their live sports is good, but I would not put a pixel on your site because they will harvest that data and you're paying for them to prospect your information.
That's every third party.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't do it for anybody,
right?
Unless
it's time for that to stop.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's insane. And dealers don't know it. They don't know this is going on.
Well, they're just now realizing that how powerful their data is, and I know that's another podcast.
Right.
So that's another episode rather, and we need to get into that. 100%. But let's how you partner with Amazon is you leverage advertising on their as a DSP on their site.
And the best is live sports that they have.
Yeah, I mean, for CTV and banner ads, but again, Amazon has the same problem that every DSP has. Portions of their portions of their traffic is junk.
Well, programmatic advertising is based off junk.
Yeah, it is junk.
Everybody thinks that's the primary strategy. Remnant advertising is stuff people didn't buy.
Right, exactly.
And that's why they have an auction every morning, every day.
Right.
And so if your agencies are saying this is the primary deal, don't buy that shit.
Because they're doing
because they don't know.
They're arbitraging the difference between what they're charging you and what it's so silly.
And also I think dealers have to realize that when if you are marketing with Amazon, that doesn't actually necessarily mean you're marketing on Amazon. No. Amazon owns 40 some odd different properties.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's why you got to buy fixed position CTV, and you can do it. If they tell you can't, they're lying.
They're exactly.
Right.
Well, and my concern from a marketing perspective for anybody out there watching and listening right now, if you're getting into Amazon, we got to get away from this channel strategy of just checking off proverbial boxes. Saying, okay, I got my 5,000 in Google and my 5,000 in Meta, and now my 5,000 in Amazon.
People over platforms.
It's like I love
the reason that this stuff works. Why they sell it, I should say that, is because they've packaged it properly, right?
Sure.
And clicks, impressions are now the metric. It used to be a CR, gross rating point, right? But gross rating points
used to be gross profit and people,
right? Well, yeah,
sales.
Sales.
That crazy thing.
Yeah, you talk about waste.
Right.
I remember when the guys, when that web marketers came out, hey, we're going to get specific and targeted. You won't waste anything. Well, it's the biggest waste. I mean, it's the ocean that you're dropping things into.
Exactly.
It's so funny.
There's thousands of channels they can drop your stuff on.
And you have no idea where.
No, you have no idea.
And that click.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's behind that.
Well, no one knows who they are.
Right.
And so we spent all this money to have anonymous people who we think are interested because we saw a click. That's what makes us excited. Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
It's insanity.
It has. We've lost our freaking mind.
We spent trillions of dollars in black boxes hoping that things would happen.
And we were told it wasn't going to be a black box. That was
such bullshit.
But it happened over so much time, over the last 15 years, that we've just slowly
I don't think it happened that slowly. I think we got here that we think it's that slowly because we're
that slow to catch up.
Right.
Yeah.
This was happening right out of the gate.
Yeah, we start 2000. In 1999 we started AIM data. In 2002, I'm in Ziegler's meeting, in the sales managers forum, listening to Ziegler telling us how the internet is a non-event. And at that time, he was 100% right. What he didn't know is everyone would have it. Yeah, what he didn't realize is that Google was not going to have that. Right? You were so there was something bigger there was bigger evil at play. And so what ends up happening is that from 2002 to 2004, it's this, we got to figure it out. We got a little tech bubble in the middle of all this, so we don't know. So that causes a bit of a hiccup. And then 2004, 2005, all of a sudden Amazon says, you know what? There's $8 billion with a B dollars a year sitting over here in the auto side. And look at this NADA data pie chart. Look where it's being spent. Newspaper. Yeah. What? The F?
Listing.
And then TV. And they look at that and go, oh, we're having that. Yeah. And they went on a mission. Every NADA, every digital dealer, it was Google, and you wanted Google to speak because then they would come in, they would tell you the secret sauce, and then you got the ZMOT, zero moment,
zero moment of truth, right? Such bullshit.
Here it comes.
My God.
Such bullshit.
It was such bullshit.
But it got propagated by the people in our industry because they could play with Google Analytics and they thought they were geniuses. I would always say, hey, can you out Google? Because that's what's happening here. I mean, are you serious? Did anybody not see the social network?
Google advertised you.
Yeah, right.
To your point, it was just programmatic. That's all we did. We were just literally just selling channels.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
and
we don't know
like merit badges. Yeah. Every dealer out there had to have their Google merit badge.
Hey, I blame guys like
Facebook one,
in the ad business, for pushing this bullshit, right? And here's why I think what took place is you went from a 15% commission structure on traditional media. Yep. Well, the digital guys came in and said, well, what if we give them 25%? Boop.
They
overnight.
Exactly what they were doing.
Overnight.
And
they were then all geniuses because they could read Google Analytics, which tells you absolutely nothing. Right. Zero. And they brought out their charts and everyone was a Google preferred or Google certified partner. And it's just bullshit. It's unbelievable.
I just remember having these wars.
They were wars because you would get beat the fuck up because just telling the truth, man.
Right.
Oh, you can't be right. Google and everybody's
So it's funny.
I get
dude.
So we get
the marketing company. The marketing company that also owns the Insight company was always a questionable solution.
Yeah. So I mean, you some of you. I don't know if you were around at the time, but you were. You remember the Dynamite Monkey?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember the Dynamite Monkey.
So you weren't. You may not have been there at that time. So the Dynamite Monkey.
The trunk monkey.
It was like a little like
I remember the trunk monkey. I remember the trunk.
No, the Dynamite Monkey was my nickname.
Okay.
And I still own the URL and the Facebook page and all the other stuff. But I had done some research. I did a keynote at Digital Dealer with Kendall Billman, and there was one other guy there, and I can't remember who he was. And the whole thing was about, I at the time, the whole time I was like, look, I don't give a shit about these clicks. I don't care about this traffic. Right. Leads. I need names.
Phone number.
Name, email address, and phone number. And I was getting my ass handed to me from everybody. Oh, you're right. So I'm up here on the stage and I'm going over data that we had collected off of websites with Venn data and other things we had looked at. And I go through that entire keynote. And then, do you remember doing Dennis Galbraith? At the time he was working for Cars.com, and I had brought up Cars.com as an example. And he goes to his next session, and this is how he opens up his session. Larry Bruce is the reason we don't give dynamite to monkeys. and you can tweet that.
You can tweet that.
And when I'm at these shows, I never check social media. I don't like social media to begin with, but I never check social media. I'm working. I got things to do. And Glenn Garvin comes up to me and he says, "Hey man, have you looked on social media at all? I'm like, no. Why? He's like, look, I got to show you something. And he pulls his phone up and shows it. He's like, I got all these tweets. Larry Bruce, Dynamite Monkey. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. And I immediately right there pulled my phone out, bought dynamitemonkey.com, set up Dynamite Monkey on Twitter, set up Dynamite. This is great. I love this. We turned it into a whole thing. I had flying dynamite monkeys. I had it was absolutely
flying
great.
Dynamite Monkey, but the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. But the point was, at the end of the day, it's just like, if you didn't agree with their narrative, it wasn't just Dennis or Cars.com. It was them. It was Cox. It was Trader. I mean, I can remember when they brought out, they brought out the super hootie Google guy on Google Analytics. I'm trying to remember his name. And he trashed websites, and Roscoe just got absolutely crushed by
these arrogant. I won't say the other word I was going to attach to it.
Yeah.
But their goal was to change the way we sell and purchase cars. Right. They were going to do it, and they were going to do it hell or high water because the car industry
was the customers for the customer wanted.
Yeah. This reminds me of Democrats.
Whoa.
Okay. So look at that. We're at the time slot right there.
Hey, but it's true, man. I mean, you guys might want to shy away from a political conversation, but I'm here to tell you, when you can't have an opinion.
So this is why I love this podcast.
No, you're absolutely
right. I'm right. Hell yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, you are.
Anyway, all right,
guys,
let's move on.
This is awesome.
I can't wait till this next one.
Yes, it's going to get real.
It's going to get real. It's getting real here at Dealercast Studios. Okay, guys, we are at the tail end of our time, so that was perfect.
Was this about Amazon?
This was about Amazon. So it's just
a monolithic thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's finish it off with this. Give me you guys kind of final thoughts on how Amazon can impact either both the consumer side of the auto industry or the dealer side of the auto industry. Just kind of final thoughts before we wrap it up.
Here's what I believe they will do. They will find some segment of the industry to own, and then they will conquer it, and they will category kill it.
Yes.
And then they will go out and build their own brand and monopolize it. And that's what because they got all the data. They won't take the whole industry. They'll take a niche.
I'm 100% with you on that, but I'm going to let Larry.
Yeah, Amazon, look, if you want to help, be a good DSP, be a good partner, help the dealership advertise. Stay out of his way.
And don't steal his ups.
Let him do what he does. We're dealers, we sell cars. Your advertising platform, you advertise. OEMs are good, they build cars. Everybody stay in your damn lane. Please, I'm begging you.
The difference today between the CTV and traditional media was one difference. Traditional, you never knew who watched it or heard it, right? Sure. So you couldn't really lie about it because you knew how it worked, right? Today, they know how it works and they lie about it. That's the difference because they can track everything. They got all the data. And they know what's going on, right? So they never give it to you. They never tell you anything other than clicks and impressions. So one, you knew how it worked. The second one, you don't, and they tell you they know, or they tell you what you want to believe to be true, and it ain't. It's a lie.
Right.
And so you can follow that Pied Piper for a long while, and usually it ends up in the ditch.
Always.
And that's what they're after, man. They're not your friends. They're not.
They're not.
No, and in fact, so I'll kind of wrap up my final thoughts on what Amazon both impact on the consumer side and on the dealer side. On the consumer side, I'm actually with you, Rob. I don't think Amazon's interested in selling cars because I think Amazon actually knows the margins on selling cars, and that's not something that they're fundamentally
aftermarket.
It's not their thing.
What they have got a taste for is accessories, and they understand the margins on that. And you actually are seeing like Amazon branded accessories for the automotive industry.
They've almost killed Harley Davidson sales inside the store.
100%. We've actually already seen some examples of this. I think where they will go will be the one department that we have that has the highest margin, and I think it'll be service. All right, right now there's 180 million users on Amazon. I think it's over. Last time I heard, and this could be more. It could be more. Last time I heard, there was like 30 to 50 million of them had filled out a garage data, meaning so that Amazon knows what vehicle they own. Yeah, right. All right, look, if Amazon decided, hey, we're going to be in the oil change business,
They could get there. They got to have distribution.
That's the thing. If they went and bought, like, what is the price? Yes. If they went and bought Jiffy Lube, okay, it's no different than Amazon buying Whole Foods or partnering with. Did they buy it or partner? I forget.
They bought it.
Okay, so look, no different. They bought
that's data, and so that's connecting the web to the brick and mortar.
Yes,
right. So they can track the behavior.
I could see a world, and I think dealers, you guys need to be aware of this, because what covers our monthly nut and keeps the lights on is our service department, and I just don't think dealers are spending enough time realizing how vulnerable that is.
Maintenance is not where dealers really put a lot of effort on service, and that's a bad thing.
Which is a shame, because come on, it's where you're making your money.
Well, yeah, but service, where they're making their money in services on not the oil change, not the tire rotation, not the tire change out. That's not where they're making money. They're making money on the hardcore service things.
We say that, but Jiffy Lube and Midas
what was the
ungodly amount of money off of
example that Jason
margin. Have you looked at their net margins though? I mean, they're a good, but their net margins are sub 10%.
What about that example Jason gave last night of his F-150 and the what sensor that he had to go $800 $800 $17 off Amazon. That's where he bought it.
Well, I did the same thing
in the dealership. $17.
Most customers won't do that. They just pay.
No, I know, but that just tells you something is messed up.
Exactly. In fact, I actually had the exact same thing happen with my Nissan Armada. I had the compressor go out for the rear airbags. Yeah. And it is in a very obvious, very easy to get to place. Dealership went $1,800 to replace it. I bought one on Amazon for $400,
right?
And spent 35 minutes underneath it just to unbolt two things and connect the new one in.
Right. But I mean, the reality is that you're not going to. Most people are not going to do that.
No.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. Check this, and I know we're getting towards the end of time. If Amazon is selling this, and then right next to it, there's another button that says "Install me." And someone comes out,
somebody comes out and does it. Now
do you know what I mean? Like,
you're again. You've got to get down for Amazon to be in that business. You've got to get down to somewhere in the neighborhood where they're making a net margin of north of 40%.
Well, I mean, they've got to be doing something, because
in it. There's just not.
We say that, but then I look at what they did with Whole Foods. There's no margin. All right, in grocery stores, and
except that one, because
they charge a ridiculous amount of money.
You're looking at the wrong margin.
But
they're working off.
There's a play there.
Niches.
That's right.
Niches is where it's at.
There's a play.
You look at how our grocery store operates, right? It's not on the margin of the product.
It's off the junk that they sell.
When Lay's comes in and Lay's wants premium pricing, they pay.
Well, okay, so same thing.
Premium placement, right? They pay HEB hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the premium placement for their chips. It ain't on the delta between what the chips cost each HEB and what they sell it. It's on what Lay's is willing to pay to get it in the right spot. It's advertising placement, my brother.
100%. Yep. I think service departments need to be completely aware. I know we talk so much about marketing, and there's a huge play for Amazon and service departments and the marketing of your own dealerships, so you guys should take a look at it. Hey, we're at the tail end of our time today, guys. Thanks so much for this. Was a great episode. Everybody out there watching, listening right now, we appreciate you. Hey, one of the biggest compliments you can give us as content creators is to share the show. It means so much to us when you all share the show. If you guys have a manager or colleague or a friend that needs to see some part of today's episode, share the show. It means a ton to us. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to check this out. You guys have an amazing day.
See ya.
See you, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Old Guys Know Shit podcast with your host, Old Guys Who Know Shit. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.
We've seen it all, been around the block, sold a few cars, and hit the clock. From radio ads to digital screens, from paper ledgers to machine-made dreams. We're the old guys that know shit. We watch the business change to AI's call. We've survived it all, standing tall with the old guys. Yeah, we know shit, no shit. From the old ways to the new, we've seen it fit. Once you'd walk in, and shake a hand. Now it's all apps, and online plans. We traded flyers, for digital ads, and social media made us all go mad. We're the old guys that know shit, We watch the business change bit by bit, from ink on paper to AI's call. We've survived it all, standing tall with the old guys. Yeah, we know shit, From the old ways to the new, we've seen it fit. From car lots crowded with paper trails, to platforms that never fail. We've learned the ropes, we've set the pace, and now we're surfing the digital space. We're the old guys that know shit, We watch the business change bit by bit, from ink on paper to AI's call. We've survived it all, standing tall, we're the old guys. Yeah, we know shit, From the old ways to the new, we've seen it fit. So if you're a dealer, new or old, take a seat, let the stories unfold. We've got the wisdom, we've got the drive, the old guys that know shit still alive,